The year 2000 was my big year. I decided to do the big 5. And I thought, all right, I'll start with the doozy. That year I did the mid-mile. Then I went on to do the Comrades. I did the Argus that year. And then I ended up on the 6th of July getting to the top of Kilimanjaro with my group of boys from Durban High School. I think my bucket list sort of went yup the moment I had discovered that I had to go for Whipple surgery, that I had pancreatic cancer. Everything went out of my mind completely.
Pam was incredibly active, went up the mountains and went up every bloody way. But cancer doesn't choose, it comes to anybody and everybody.
I'd seen advertised hospice and I thought, no, I'm going to go to hospice, the South Coast Hospice, and just see what reception I get there. I was greeted with great joy by Dr Nell, who immediately said, my darling, we're going to admit you. Have you got your little bag? I said, well, actually, I came with a bag. I'm used to carrying things in case I spend overnight somewhere. I was admitted, and for the next 7 days, he taught me pain management.
Doctors on the outside are scared to talk to patients about the fact that they cannot help them anymore, that they cannot cure them anymore. And that is unfortunately part of our problem that we see here, is that patients come here quite a long time after they've been diagnosed. They are coming here with severe symptoms, which was not properly controlled. And the longer you take to control pain, the more difficult it gets to control the pain in any patient. The relief on the patient's face after a week when we've started them on the right medication, and suddenly it's not biting them anymore. We've got patients that take their medication regularly, like they should, and they go to work, but they've got no pain. And that is the important part.
And one of the sisters that came through on a Thursday, because they visit me every Thursday, 2 or 3 of the nursing sisters come through. And Sister Diane said, about your bucket list. I said, I don't have a bucket list. She said, why ever not? So I said, well, I'm not going to be around very much longer, am I? She said, of course you are. What makes you think you're not? So I said, well, I really, jeepers, hospice? That is the end of the road. You don't make a bucket list if you go to hospice. She said, rubbish. Come on, my girl, you do your bucket list. The next week she came to visit and she said, and your bucket list? Oh, I said, my son's booked me on a flight to Istanbul.
You know, for somebody like that who has been so very active, and suddenly this thing is thrown in your path and you are devastated. But even with this kind of disease, she can still do a lot of things.
I can only say that hospice has got me through this because of the spirit that they exude. They give so much joy out. They all love the Lord. And I love the Lord with all my heart. And if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be on this road, managing as well as I am with the people from hospice. They love the Lord. You feel it in every step of the way that you take with them. And in the morning you wake up and you hear them singing. It's just too gracious for words.
It is maybe a bit easier for me to explain to a patient about symptoms and about getting used to not being able to maybe walk or not being able to control your bowels or whatever. I mean, it's horrible symptoms that people must get used to. And I think for me it's a little bit easier to explain to them what is happening to them because I've been through it. It's not necessary to go and sit in a little heap. There's still a lot that you can do. Even if you do it out of your bed, you know, you can still do quite a bit. It doesn't mean that you have to now go and hide away and climb into bed. She cannot climb the mountain anymore, yes, but there's a lot of people around her that she can still influence. And because the pain is a lot better controlled, she can also carry out the hospice credo and what we are doing here. And I think that's also important. Pam's a tough girl, huh? She's really a tough girl.
What more could I ask? My bucket list is filling up.
For more information on how you can be a part of playing an important role in the Ugu District community, contact South Coast Hospice Association.